get this leaf spring fitted. We're going to fit it, and then that'll be the car ready to go back on some wheels, and the chassis can roll about then. I'm going to get my front shackle pin in. Plenty of copper grease on there, because this helps to prevent it from seizing in place. So that's our front shackle pin fitted. This is the rear swinging shackle, and the reason we call it a swinging shackle is because literally it swings in its mountings, because this leaf spring gets longer and shorter. So we need to alter the distance between the front shackle, which is fixed, and the rear shackle, which is swinging, to allow for that deflection. I'm going to use a little bit of rubber grease on these rubber bushes here to keep them lubricated when they're in use. So the swinging shackle fits in like so into the eye of the spring. Lubricate the other half of the rear bushes, pop those in, then on goes the other end plate of the swinging shackle. And the front shackle has a castellated nut, so called because it looks like the top of a castle. Then on with the nut. We have to locate the axle on the spring. Now there's a little dowel here on the axle, and that locates into a little hole on the receiving end of the axle pad here. Now these are called U-bolts for obvious reasons. The bottom end of these U-bolts goes through this lever arm damper. Now this is a hydraulic damper, so that when the car's going down the road and the spring's flexing, this damper takes out the oscillation in the spring. If this wasn't here, the spring would go up and down a bit like a bouncy ball, and that means that you don't have constant contact between the tyre and the road surface. Then that could put you into a skid situation very quickly. You need to have the tyres touching the road surface at all times. So this little fella does a really important job. And the outer one goes through in a similar fashion. So that's the axle loosely fitted onto the spring. I think the leaf spring still has its place. It's rugged, it's simple, it's reliable, and it's worked for hundreds of years.